Do what you love and the money will come. This is the advice of my father, the most intelligent and humble person that I've ever met. When he has advice, I listen. He spent his life as a prison guard, and we all knew that's not really what he wanted to be doing. He wanted to be a singer. And he was good. He doesn't know I have this picture, by the way. This is a band called Eric and the Restless Knights with a K. He really loved us, so his advice I took to heart. I decided very young that I was going to become a professional dancer. And in my humble opinion, I was amazing. Probably the best dancer at my small town dance studio, possibly one of the best in the world. So I devised a well-calculated plan that was going to get me to my life goal. Step 1, get a dance degree. Turns out, step 1 should have been get good at dancing. I received rejection after rejection from university dance programs, but I had already made a plan, and I don't like it when people say no to me, so I decided that one way or another I was getting that dance degree. I got some private instruction, built up my technique, and I got good enough at dance that I was able to get into the dance minor. This meant that I could hang around in the dance wing without anyone getting suspicious. I became my own advisor, found the curriculum for dance majors, and took every single class that dance majors were required of. When I couldn't get into the class, I found the professor and I had them sign me in. By the end of 4 years, I had completed the dance degree, but I still wasn't in the dance major. I had auditioned 3 or 4 times, and I still didn't have the technique to be in the major. The funny thing is, I had gotten A's in every single class, had been in all the classes with the dance majors, but wasn't supposed to be there. Finally, I decided that instead of going to the last audition of the year, I was going to find the head of the dance department and meet with her, see her personally, and ask her to let me into the major. We were going to graduate in 3 months, and if I didn't get into the major, all of the classes I had taken were not going to count towards that piece of paper, the proof that I went to college. I got into the dance major, and I ended up pursuing a dance career. And you know, it's funny, because my dance career only lasted about 2 years. I did very well, worked as a soloist, worked for a lot of different companies. But then I thought about it, and I realized that I was doing this mainly to prove that I could. To a lot of people, they thought it was brave that I was so ambitious about my dance major, knowing that I might end the 4 years with no degree. But it was really because I was afraid to deviate from the plan. I was afraid of what might happen to my life if I didn't become the person I decided I was going to be when I was 5 years old. So I decided that I needed to stop worrying about it, and I opened myself up to new opportunities. At that time, I was on stage with the Opera Company of Philadelphia in the production of Rigoletto. There were some jugglers, because the Duke can't have a ball without jugglers. And they asked me to join their show. So I said yes. They said, "You're going to be in the bend-over routine." It sounded suspect. But I said I would try new things, and they were offering me a little bit more money than I was used to making as a dancer, so I agreed to do it. I ended up performing that bend-over routine for 7 years. As you can see right here, that's me in the costume and out of the costume. And through those jugglers, I learned all kinds of different styles of movement that I never even knew existed, met amazing people, and completely abandoned the idea of being a dancer. In that time, I learned how to be an acrobat, how to be an aerialist. I learned how to work with a partner and how to work alone. And I also was introduced to wire walking. And because we're on TED time, I asked for a volunteer before this talk started. I'm going to walk you through how I learned how to walk a wire. I don't have a lot of formal training in wire walking. I learned the basics. I'm sure you've met Jessica. I'm going to ask Jessica to stand up on this platform and take my hand. Great. She's going to look at the end, and she's going to put one foot in front of the other, leading with her big toe. This was my first experience on a wire. Right here, I thought, I have amazing balance. This is going to be the easiest thing I've ever done. Right here, I realized that it was very difficult. Right here, I realized it really hurt my feet. And about this point, I decided it was the hardest thing I had ever done in my life, and I was never doing it again. Thank you. And then I did it again. Shortly after that, I was a professional wire walker. I couldn't stop walking on the wire. I was making a living at it. It was amazing. I've met all kinds of amazingly talented people. Tim Schofield, who made this amazing tightwire rig. He's based in Baltimore. Eric Michaels, who's going to be coming on stage with me, doing our doubles tightwire act, who also wrote the music that we're about to perform to. And I actually got to meet the cowboy from the Village People, the original cowboy. Yeah. He's still in the Village People. But he actually said something that was really amazing. He said that when he moved to New York as a young child, he wanted to be a Broadway star. Obviously, that's not how his life ended up, and most of us would consider him pretty successful in life. But in a way, he feels like he failed at his life goal. But he realized that life is what happens when you stop following a well-conceived plan and start opening yourself up to newer versions of yourself and opening yourself up to chance. So we're going to do our tightwire act for you now.